but we'll get, so in this meeting, we have what, 15 minutes to get to know people. And what I would do is I'll just go ahead and have people ask you questions.
Okay.
Paul, want to have any questions for since we only have 15 minutes?
Yes, I think my hat off to you, Anish. I think that, yeah, with these,
Thank you.
with the,
That's all.
with the, no, I didn't mean it like that. No, I mean, with the ADU situation in California, because I'm also a real estate a professional out of San Francisco, and my partner works most of that out there too. And been in a family of contractors. My dad and uncle used to flip homes back in the 70s and 60s, 80s, and then I went out on my own in the 80s. So I'm also a general contractor and electrical contractor out of there. So I think what you're doing is great. The ADU is really something to be looking at in California for sure.
Yes, absolutely. No, yeah, no, I agree.
Okay. And Ralph, what about you?
Hey, Hanish, nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Yeah, so I just want to kind of pick your brain a little bit. I did buy a land next to us for like $3,000, but I heard like people are selling it for like 10 empty lots here, and I live in Ridgecrest, California. I was wondering how to make it profitable.
It's interesting. One of my skills is knowing what I don't know, and so there's a lot of that. Unfortunately, Marie, right on our call with us, works with Steve, and he has a lot more experience developing and entitling property than I do, and there's a lot to go on that. So my neighbor behind my wall here is a pool company, and he's owned it for 20 years, but he just recently sold it to a developer who is an older gentleman in his 60s, and he's developed huge neighborhoods all throughout Colorado. And now he's here in San Diego developing Trevi Hills out in Lakeside, which is a 250 home development. And so I've been blessed to have met him, because every week when I get my 2 to 5 potential development deals, now I can run to him and say, hey, run these deals through with me and tell me if it makes sense or not, in terms of access to utilities, grading, fire prevention, zoning, next development size, market value. And it's good because now I can run by 10 projects with him, and he'll be like, nope, 9 of these are no good. This one's got some meat on it. Let's pursue it and dig into it a little bit further. So having someone that you can rely on that knows your area, that you can vet out and say, where are the utilities? How big are they? What's the zoning? Are there any easements that are going to prevent my development? Are important to know. And so finding someone that has that experience is useful. Otherwise, even a good design firm or architect that works in your area should be able to give you a pretty detailed feasibility that says, okay, here's what you've got, and here's what you can do, and here's what we think it'll cost, and whether we need to explore more. And a lot of times a design firm might be able to do that for $500 to $1,000.
Wow. Okay. And Martha, you have any questions?
Well, I'm not in real estate, but Hanish, tell me, what are key numbers in your business? What numbers do you think you should be looking at?
Mostly phone numbers of distressed sellers, but I get what you're saying. Yeah. The numbers that I'm looking at are, for me, it's always, if it makes money, it makes sense. And so then it's just kind of figuring out how much time that I can put into the project to make it worthwhile. And if I have the skill sets within my Rolodex or within my company to execute and take care of this in a manner that I can trust, because as you know, one of the biggest hurdles in doing real estate development projects is having a project go sideways in the construction phase, right? And so, expecting something to cost 100, and then if it ends up costing 200, well, now you just went from a good deal to a bad deal. So in terms of numbers, we're always trying to get better and do better. And I was talking to a successful gentleman yesterday who was building a hotel in Bali, and I was playing cards with him last night at my friend's house. And he was kind of telling me how it's all about ROI, putting money into marketing and making sure that you get the money back out. And if you're a business consultant, I'm sure you know that as well. So it's funny because I spent a few years outsourcing business processes for a mortgage company that I worked for years ago. And I've had a few fits and starts of trying to use a VA over the last few years, unsuccessfully. And now I'm trying to explore that route again in terms of trying to get a VA to take a lot of the cold leads and cold numbers and opportunities that we have and try to warm them up and see if I can get more opportunities to buy, sell, develop, transact in general. So that's one of my key goals right now, is to just get more opportunities. I think being an aggregator of leads and collecting leads and being able to filter through leads and is the goal, is to get as much business as I can, and then eventually find people, train people to work with me that can analyze those deals and go look through 10 deals and say, yep, this is the one you should pursue. And then I take that deal and I have a better chance of taking it to, my developer friend next door and saying, hey, do we have a real deal here? And having that experience so I can start doing them eventually in my own, right? For the first 3-4 years, when I was flipping homes from 2013 to 2017, I had a partner that I would run by and say, hey, what do you think? Is this a deal? Now I don't have to do that anymore because I've got enough experience where I can just make that decision on my own. So that's what I'm always looking for, so to kind of grow professionally and have a better understanding of the projects I'm doing and play a little bit of real life Monopoly.
Okay, and Hanish was actually interviewed by Steve Matley on the Building Solid Foundation radio talk show. And you guys talk about ADU there, right?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, so check that out. I think you're going to learn more about what he's doing with the ADU. Now, Hanish, you have any questions for Ralph, Paul, and Martha?
No, and I apologize. I missed all this out earlier. Hopefully we can spend a little bit more time on the next call, and I'll make sure I block this off. I know we planned this kind of last minute, so my 10:30 ran long. I was hoping to jump right onto the phone. But yeah, I'd love to learn a lot more about all of you guys, and learn what you're doing, and if I can be helpful or point you in the right direction or introduce you to someone that could be useful to your business. I always try to be a good strategic partner in that sense with anyone I meet, so that I can offer value of some sort, even if it's just an introduction to someone that could be more helpful to you than I am.
Okay, so go ahead and put your information on chat.
Yep.
Make
And
sure.
then, yeah, I'd be happy to, connect with anyone at a later time and make another appointment to chat. I appreciate the connection, Marie.
Yeah, and Hanish, we meet every Tuesday at 3 p.m. and every Friday at 11 a.m. So if you want to come in, I'll send you the link. We'll send you an invite, and then you can go ahead and take a look at that. This is also a membership, organization where they are official members, and we meet here twice a week, and we get to meet a lot of new people actually here. So today it was a pretty light meeting, and you're the only one that registered. But normally we would have up to a dozen of new people that are here. And we get to know what they do, and we connect after the meeting. So all of them are official members, Ralph, Paul, and Martha, and they have been on all the radio shows. So actually, Paul is one of the Real Men of Real Estate radio talk show. So he's coming in this Sunday. So, by the way, Paul, are you going live this Sunday?
I have to make a couple of calls after this meeting, so I'll let you know if I'm going live or pre-record.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So Paul is one of our hosts, and again, he's got a big project that he's working on. And Ralph, I have interviewed him in the Fire Up Connect, and Martha is a host for the Fire Up Connect radio talk show. So all of them are working on so many different platforms that increases their branding. And in this meeting, we also find ways to collaborate. So the fact that Ralph asked a question, Ralph, I do need to connect you to Steve about that land questions that you have. And, Paul might have an input on that too. So
yeah, definitely.
With Paul, and in regards to what we talked about earlier, in terms of what he needs and what you need, and there's definitely some collaboration there, okay? Martha is going to be very busy. Martha, do you have any comments before we end our meetings? Any comments about this meeting today?
Based on what I heard from Hanish, you need something called market segmentation. And I actually have the skills to program that quickly. And what that helps is that you will segment your customers or your current deals, is your 110 deals that you already did, and really strategize your phone calls when you talk to them. Because a lot of times they use the same script. But if you do market segmentation, you will run different scripts for different groups. But we have to build those clusters so you can also, when you talk to them in person, you know the right words, the right trigger words. So that's something I do besides looking at financials and forecasts. I do that too. It's really fun. So maybe looking into something like that.
Yeah,
Okay, sounds good. Maybe we can set up a time for next week. Yeah, that'd be fine.
yeah, Martha has done a I think one of the stories that she told us is what was that, 10 million of a budget?
Yeah, Marie, we might get to 20 million. So it's
Okay.
gonna double in just 1 year.
Okay, so did you hear that, Hanish? That's the kind of work that she does. So if you want to double your revenue, you definitely want to connect with Martha, okay?
Yep, absolutely. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I wrote down all the information, copied and saved it, and so I will. I'll schedule some time with her.
Okay, awesome. And Ralph, any feedback?
Good. Like I said, I like the format. Everybody gets his talk. Nobody gets left behind. So
Okay.
it's good. I love coming to these meetings.
All right, and you're setting up a meeting with Paul, right?
Try to, yeah.
All right. Okay,
Yep.
sounds good. Paul,
Yeah, my calendar's there too, Ralph, so pick a date and time.
okay. And Paul, any feedback?
You know, like I said, just quoting what Ralph said, yeah, I enjoy the meetings too, because, you know, we're all so busy and it's really nice to meet and just talk about things, you know, that are probably weighing on us or things that we're looking at, and just getting a different perspective is always nice. And it keeps you on edge. You know, I heard something earlier today, and there was a podcast, and they did mention that helping is the new selling. So really, if you think about it, a lot of people that are coming out of this pandemic, they don't know what to do. One thing is for sure, they don't want to go back to what they were doing in some of the jobs that they have come from. So being of help is really nice because, you know, you're helping people, but being at this format, you're listening to different industries and people and business owners talk about things. And you never know, this is a service that you could use to help people and to refer your people. I think, you know, that's where I'm at with this. So
I like
enjoy
that,
it.
Paul. I mean, that could be a good t-shirt coat. You know, it's like the new, what is it? The new selling is helping.
Right. Helping is the new selling. Yeah. So
That's awesome. Oh, we should, you know what? Now I'm thinking I'm gonna have this t-shirts.
there you go.
You know, okay, here's a clue, because you know how Johnny Depp is going through courts right now, right? Everybody knows that.
Yeah, I think I've seen something like that. Wow, poor guy. Anyway.
So everything that he says, they create a t-shirt now for him. What they said. And so I'm thinking I'm gonna create a Fire Up Connect with you guys in it and whatever. I remember Martha said something too the last time, and she was like amazing what she said. I'm gonna have to go back to all the recordings and start picking up some of those things.
About the rocket, right? Wasn't it something about the rocket?
Yeah, the rocket, and she has a lot of good words that she had shared in our meetings, and I think I'm gonna use some of those for a t-shirt. I'll split the revenue with you guys. That's what we're gonna do. Okay. Anyway, in regards to the PowerPoint that I was sharing earlier, I will just continue that next time because we don't have a lot of time now. But I'm glad that you enjoyed this meeting. And Hanish, even for a short period of time, thank you for attending. And if you like, what did you think about so far for the 15-minute time that you're here?
It was great. For my 15 minutes, I felt like I get an hour of value.
There you go. That's awesome. All right. Well, make sure you save your chat, and then I will see you guys. And Hanish, again, you're welcome to join us on Tuesday at 3:00 p.m. That's our next meeting. And just, go back and let me know if that's what you wanted to do. We can register you for that. Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm probably, Fridays are better for me. Tuesdays, I'm blocked at that time, but yeah, we could do something.
All
like
right,
that.
you can do that. All right, sounds good. And I'll share you some information about Fire Up Connect. Again, this is a membership, and everyone that comes in here, they get to come in here for the first time, and there's no cost. But for coming back on the second time, there's a $10 to come in. But if you become a member, there's only a monthly fee that you have to do, and you get to attend for 8 meetings in a month, and there's so many people that comes in and out here. So it's a good way to connect with so many different types of people. And Paul, Ralph, and Martha have experienced that every time. They never miss the meetings, right, Paul?
I'm pretty much here all the time, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and they get a lot of connections. Okay, well, thank you so much, and everybody, and I will see you next week, and have a great weekend. Okay.
You
Awesome.
too,
Thank you.
Marie.
Thanks, Marie.
Nice meeting you,
Likewise.
Ganesh. Good to see you too, Martha and Ralph.
All right.
Bye.
Appreciate it, guys.
Everyone.
Bye.